to autonomous marketing, right? ActiveCampaign's autonomous marketing platform really sets the stage for AI agents to imagine, to activate, and to validate your marketing for you, right? So you can set the goals, and Active Intelligence is going to turn those goals into strategies. It's going to build campaigns and automations to execute on those strategies, and then it's going to learn from the results of those efforts, and it's going to then provide insights and recommendations for you. So every time you build a feature inside ActiveCampaign, it's going to perform better for you. And this is really the power of autonomous marketing, is this cycle, this loop of information and data coming from you as the user to our AI agents, from our AI agents back to you. So we're going to take a look at the power of ActiveCampaign's Active Intelligence to imagine, to activate, and to validate. And really what we're seeing right now in the landscape of technology is that people are adopting these AI tools, right? People are using tools like Gemini, like ChatGPT on a daily basis, and they're using them to gather and create really great, solid ideas, but then they don't know what the next step is after they get these good ideas. So they're getting really good ideas, they're imagining with AI tools, but they're unable to act on those, right? I have this great idea, what's the next step? And ActiveCampaign really helps us get to that next step. It's not just helping you imagine what's possible, but then it will build those things for you, and then it will validate those efforts, all right? So, Active Intelligence then is becoming really a strategic advisor, a 24/7 assistant, a strategic assistant inside your account. So, let's take a look. And right now, you can see that it's saying, oh, let's automate ActiveCampaign success. So right now, we're looking at this from the perspective of ActiveCampaign, but we could look at this from the perspective of your business. And before we started this morning, about an hour ago, I asked Susan if I could use her business, My MD Advocate, as an example. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on my MD Advocate hat, and I'm going to start working for Susan now, right? I'm Susan's marketing director. No, that's actually really generous of me. I'm Susan's marketing specialist, and I'm going to start building out some marketing strategies using ActiveCampaign's Active Intelligence. My very first step is to import my brand kit. And if you haven't imported your brand kit before, it's quite simple. I'm just capturing my MD Advocate's URL. And my first step is going to go to my brand kits, and you'll notice that I already have my ActiveCampaign brand kit inside this account. If you're managing more than one brand or business, you can have multiple brand kits inside your account at once. And I'll caution you that they should be yours. I've gotten Susan's permission to use my MD Advocate in this demo. To add a new brand kit, I'm going to scroll down, and I can add an additional brand just by adding my website. Okay, so I'm going to add my MD Advocate, and when I click Add Brand, it's going to start pulling my logos. It's going to start pulling color codes, images. It's going to start to understand and read through my website so it knows what my business is and therefore can better help me accomplish some of my marketing goals. Right? So if I scroll down, I can see that we've pulled logos, some social media links, some color codes. I'm going to pull up the actual website just so we can do a quick comparison here. And we see that logo, we see those color codes, right? So it's pulling this directly from our website. All right. We can make manual edits to this. So if we want to add some colors or adjust a hex code ever so slightly, add additional logos, we can do all of that manually. This, as an aside, pulling in this brand kit used to be something that ActiveCampaign did manually for customers. And this would take hours, if not days. And you just saw me do this in less than a minute. can make this my default brand. And now, when I go back to my homepage, you'll notice that I'm no longer doing this on behalf of ActiveCampaign, but I'm doing this for my MD advocate. All right. So this is the first step. And it's not just about, right, imagining what's possible, but we also want to validate some of our efforts. So it is now time to share with you that though I didn't know until this morning that I was going to use my MD advocate as an example, I did create some truly heinous emails, just absolutely awful emails that I put inside this account. And I did so, not that I recommend you creating terrible emails, but because I want to illustrate how ActiveCampaign can identify your efforts, things that are going well, things that aren't going well, and then they can validate and provide recommendations. So from my homepage, I can click on this Get Insights, and it's going to narrow down some information for me. So we have a couple of options that are going to help my business grow better. Right? And so one thing that I might try is fix underperforming campaigns. So when I click on this little insights card, it's taking me inside Active Intelligence, and it's going to start looking through all of my campaigns, and it's going to find my worst performing campaign. It's going to help me understand why it didn't perform well, what I can do in the future to help make it perform better, and ostensibly it's going to validate my efforts. So it's going to tell me things like, hey, this was done really well, this wasn't done so well, and here now are my recommendations to help you activate a new plan to improve based on the insights that we are pulling. So previously, this was something that we would send you to your reports to look at. And all of our competitors would do the same. They would say, hey, go to your reports, check out your insights, and then you can see how your campaigns are performing. The difference here is that I can use conversational language. It will pull those insights for me, so not only will it analyze that data, but then it will interpret that data for me. Previously, if you went to your reports, you would have to interpret that data, and now Active Intelligence is doing it for you. So a couple of things that we can see. My worst performing campaign I sent out last month. Now I have pretty good open and click rates, 42%, not so bad, but that bounce rate is abysmal, 14% bounce rate, yikes. So if I scroll down, I will see not just my key performance issues, but I'll also see recommendations to perform this improvement. I also see that there's a very small audience here. And so it's telling me some recommendations. Hey, expand your audience. This isn't a great sample size. Your campaign only reached 7 recipients. It's too small to gather really meaningful insights. So already it's recommending that I expand my reach here. It's recommending I clean my contact list, right? I have an email quality issue, right? And that's why my bounce rate is so high. It's hoping that I optimize my subject line, right? That I should test across email clients. So it's giving me all of these recommendations, and then it's asking me how I would like to activate. How would I like to action these recommendations? Would you like help implementing any of these improvements, such as creating a more targeted campaign or optimizing your subject line? And I could say, yes. Help me create a more targeted campaign. So now, Active Intelligence is going to start making these recommendations into the world. And this is something that, again, would have taken us hours to do. Not just to interpret this data, but then to come up with an action plan as we try to better or improve some of these reporting metrics. All right. So as it starts to build, I want to reiterate the time that it saves. I know we talked about this 13 hours of saved time, but already in 5 or 6 minutes, we have created a brand kit, we have asked for some insights and analytics, and now we're getting additional insights and actioning recommendations that Active Intelligence has given us, right? So it's asking me even for more specifics, right? Could you tell me what the main goal of the campaign is? Who do you want to target? What are their specific messages, right? So already it's taking so much data from your account, and it's asking you for additional insights to make sure it's providing you with the most optimal recommendations and campaigns that you want. So it's not just about validating, right? It's not just about imagining what is possible. It's not just about validating your efforts, but we also want to activate. So let's talk about how we can start building out campaigns using AI. If I go back to my main page, I could create an email directly from this homepage. Many of us are familiar with creating marketing campaigns by going to the campaign section of our account. And you'll notice at the top of the page, we can either start from scratch or we could use a conversational prompt and we can ask them to build a campaign directly for us. So let's go ahead and ask Active Intelligence to build, let's say, 2 versions of a campaign encouraging folks, I'll try to spell encouraging correctly, encouraging folks to subscribe. One version is for patients, and one is for physicians. Whoa, my spelling's not so good today, friends. All right, so now I'm asking Active Intelligence not just to build me a campaign, but to build me 2 versions of that campaign, further segmenting my audience here. We know that email marketing efforts are most impactful and often most successful when we have really clear personalization. And one pitfall that I see marketers fall into is that they send everyone on their contact list the same email, right? I feel like this goes back to the old days of mailers, where they're like, any address I have, I'm gonna market to them. But we know better than that now, and we have the ability to segment and personalize these things further. So now, in seconds, I have asked Active Intelligence to build me essentially 2 emails targeting 2 different client types that might use my MD Advocate. And I can see both of these are built. You can always go in and manually edit either of these emails, but Active Intelligence is giving you this creative kickstart, a creative head start in this race, so you don't have to worry about imagining the content, starting to build the content. Active Intelligence is doing all of this for you, and it's doing it in seconds. And it's not just about our campaigns, it's also about how we can create automations. So these things can automatically run and start reaching our audiences at the right time for them. Another key component to personalization, right? So let's also build an automation with Active Intelligence. Here we'll see a similar UX here. We can start from scratch. Many people like building automations from scratch, but again, we could prompt Active Intelligence to build out these automations for us without having to jump into any of the logic or things like that. So I can use a conversational prompt like I need a, let's say, 3-email welcome drip series for new subscribers. And now Active Intelligence, once again, is going to be in action. Now this is a pretty generic prompt. The more detail you add, right, the better the tool is going to perform. We know this across AI tools. right? But for the purpose of this demo, I'll give you a more generic. And as it builds, I think what you're going to start to see is that ActiveCampaign's active intelligence and our autonomous marketing really does create this loop for you. We're not just helping you imagine ideas, we're helping activate those ideas, and then once we're validating those efforts, we're providing new recommendations. So it is not just us prompting the tool to say, do this for me. It is the tool saying, hey, based on this thing I did, let me provide you with an additional insight, an additional recommendation. So again, they're acting as a strategic advisor. All right, ActiveCampaign, Active Intelligence is on the go. It has built a welcome series. It tells me exactly what the automation includes. And I can see this automation laid out. Right here, let me make it a little bigger here. Right? So now I can see when my new subscribers are added to my list, I'm gonna send a welcome email. This email has also been built out for me through Active Intelligence. I'm gonna wait for a few days. It's going to send me an additional email, wait another few days, and then it's going to have a clear call to action. Right? From the time that I got up here, we have added a new business to my account. We have gathered analytic insights from data in my account based on emails I've sent out. We have taken recommendations, we have actioned those recommendations, we have built campaigns, we have built multiple campaigns, and we have built an automation for new subscribers. And we have done that in less time than it takes you to finish a cup of coffee. That's wild. This is something that used to take us days to accomplish. Not just our users, but ActiveCampaign employees who were doing this on behalf of our customers. This is something that took tons and tons of time, and now we are doing it faster than someone might take a quick walk around the block. That really is this power here. And from answering questions to completing these campaigns, building automations, from analyzing performance to optimizing results, Active Intelligence is handling all of this in a unified conversational workplace. This really is the change to autonomous marketing. I think it's very, very exciting, and it's super, super fun. You could do this with your business today in your accounts. You could do exactly what I just walked through, and it would take you 10 or 15 minutes. With that, I have one more thing for you, and it's that if this information was helpful, we also have a Getting Started webinar. This is offered on demand weekly. My team, the product education team, runs this webinar. It is a 25-minute on-demand, getting started, everything you need to really make an impact inside your account. You can get more tips and insights into how to use Active Intelligence and the entirety of your platform. If you scan this QR code, you'll be taken to the registration page. Highly recommend you do it even if you feel like a pro in the tool, because of how much changes really every week. It's wild the things that we're shipping right now. So highly recommend this Getting Started session. And I'm going to pass it back to Aaron.